18 Strange Facts You'll Never Believe Are True, Part 5. Number 1. All national flags feature at least one of the Olympic flag's colors. The Olympic flag was designed by the young aristocrat Baron de Coubertin in the early 1900s, and he was very deliberate in his design. Somewhere around one of the tones on the Olympic banner shows up on the banners of each and every country that contended in the games at that point, however, provided that you count the white foundation of the actual banner. A white background with 5 rings in the center that are interlaced. It's symbolic of blue, yellow, black, green, and red, Coubertin stated in 1931. It is the Olympic flag, which unites the 5 inhabited continents of the world, and the 6 colors are those that are currently displayed on all of the world's flags. Number 2. Australia has lakes that are purple and pink. Australia's Pink Lake Hillier is on Middle Island, which is off the western Australian coast. The presence of the algae Didyouknowthis salina is to thank for its vibrant pink color. It contributes to the color of the bubble gum by causing the salt content of the lake to produce a red dye. Additionally, Lake Hillier is safe to swim in despite its high salt content. Hillier has a sibling who looks like a purple lake. There are also a lot of Didyouknowthis salina in Hutt Lagoon and Port Gregory, which is on the coral coast of Western Australia. Hutt Lagoon can appear red, pink, or lilac, depending on the time of year and the amount of cloud cover. Number 3. The teabag was created by accident. In 1908, a New York tea merchant named Thomas Sullivan sent small silken bags containing tea leaf samples to some of his customers. Many of the recipients believed that the bags and metal infusers were meant to be used in the same way. Therefore, rather than emptying the bag of its contents, they put the entire bag into the teapot. Sullivan designed intentional tea bags for commercial production after receiving such positive feedback from the happy accident. His paper and gauze sachets from the 1920s included the string and a tag that could be easily removed from the bag by hanging over the side. There are some things that really do not change. Number 4. A broccoli variety with a sweet flavor was created by McDonald's. The restaurant chain experimented with science to create broccoli that tasted like bubblegum in an effort to deceive some people into eating vegetables. Customers were completely uninterested in it. Regardless, genuine broccoli is well known for its delicious flavor. Number 5. Because they used the wrong calendar, the Russians arrived 12 days late to the 1908 Olympics. More than 2,000 years ago, Julius Caesar advocated for the use of the Julian calendar, which had 365 days but did not take into account leap years. Holidays like Easter didn't fall on the correct dates as the calendar eventually drifted out of sync with the equinoxes of the seasons. The issue was finally resolved in 1582 when Pope Gregory XIII ordered Catholic nations to adopt a new Gregorian calendar. However, the transition from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar took centuries for many nations, including Russia. Because of this, Russia used the Julian calendar in 1908, which meant that they missed the first 12 days of the Olympics in London. After the Bolsheviks took control in 1918, the country finally changed. Bonus information, in 1923, Greece, the nation that birthed the Olympics, was the final nation to make the change. Number 6. On Route 66, America the Beautiful is played by grooves in the road. The Department of Transportation of New Mexico decided to spice up a desolate quarter-mile section of Route 66 that ran from Albuquerque to Tijeras. The road has grooves that play music when you drive over them at the 45 mph speed limit. Similar to rumble strips, the grooves vibrate your vehicle when you drift out of your lane. You can clearly hear America the Beautiful playing through the vibrations in your car's wheels if you drive over these particular strips, which are positioned to produce various pitches. Number 7. The manager of Elvis Presley sold I Hate Elvis badges. Army Colonel Tom Parker managed Elvis Presley in Jailhouse Rock for nearly 2 decades. He is widely regarded as the genius who orchestrated Presley's enormous commercial success. By the end of 1956, merchandise sales had brought in $22 million, and Parker had signed a merchandising deal to make Elvis a brand name. Parker was always coming up with new ways to get fans to spend money because he got a 25% profit share. He even made the decision to target Presley's detractors. He came up with the idea to sell badges that said Elvis the Yike, Elvis is a jerk, and Elvis the Yike. Number 8. Compared to plastic bags, paper bags may be harmful to the environment. It is now common knowledge that paper is always superior to plastic. In point of fact, the use of plastic bags is frequently outlawed. However, there are disadvantages to both paper and plastic. When compared to the production of plastic bags, research indicates that paper bag production produces 70% more pollution, consumes 4 times as much energy, and takes longer to break down. I'll guess that using reusable bags is the best option. Number 9. Scoliosis affects the world's fastest man. A man who can run as fast as Usain Bolt might be considered the epitome of physical perfection. However, it turns out that Bolt has had his fair share of physical challenges to overcome, one of which is scoliosis. In 2011, Bolt told ESPN magazine, "My spine is really bad. However, assuming I keep my center and back solid, the scoliosis doesn't actually annoy me. So long as I work hard, I don't have to worry about it." Number 10. The majority of Icelanders are elves believers. A 2007 University of Iceland survey found that 62% of Icelanders believe in real-life elves. In point of fact, protesters made the claim in 2014 that a proposed highway would demolish an elf church, which to many people was just a huge rock. The church was eventually relocated to a safe location to avoid harm, and construction continued. Even though moving the 70-ton rock required a crane, Icelanders place a high value on the preservation of places that elves value. The country's elf history can be traced back to poems written in the Viking era around the year 1000. These elves aren't tiny figures who make toys for Santa to Icelanders, they can range in size and actually look very much like humans. The preservation of the church comes from the widespread belief that those who dare to construct in elf territory, even though it cannot be seen, will suffer severe consequences. Number 11. Janis Joplin bequeathed $2,500 to her friends in her will so they could throw a party. Article 11 of Janis Joplin's will stated that she wanted $2,500 of her estate set aside for a post-mortem party at a suitable location as a final gesture of appreciation and farewell. The invitation to the party read "Drinks are on Pearl," a reference to Joplin's nickname and the title of her final album. About 200 special guests were invited to the party. The party was held in an appropriate setting for Joplin in San Anselmo, California. The lion's share "Drinks are on Pearl." James Gurley, Joplin's former lover, wrote in Pearl Janis Joplin's obsessions and passions. Number 12. Water emits a variety of sounds based on its temperature. If you've ever heard boiled water being poured, you'll know that its energy molecules are moving around at a much faster rate, which is why it sounds different from cold water. Cold water sounds heavier and has a lower pitch for some reason. Number 13. DUI offenders in Ohio must use yellow plates. The typical Ohio license plate is white with letters and numbers in navy blue and a red border at the top. Naturally, only if you have not been convicted of multiple DUIs. Ohio has given DUI offenders special yellow license plates with red characters since 1967. These scarlet letter plates, also known as party plates, have been mandated since 2004 for repeat DUI offenders as well as for drivers whose blood alcohol level is more than twice the legal limit. These license plates not only cause public embarrassment, but they also help the police identify these vehicles when they are on highway patrol.